So the last Saints Row game involved us going to hell to rescue the boss and bring them back to our spaceship that we live in, due to there being no Earth as it was obliterated. We also have a time machine. Who would have thought that Get Out of Hell has more Saints Row identity than this piece of garbage? My name is Starsense, and this is Saints Row 2022 reboot, self-made, whatever. So the last Saints game was back in 2015. We don't count that one. And here we are 7 years later with this new game. Gone are the Saints we know and love because this is a full-on reboot. Now let me say that despite my distaste for what I've seen prior to release, I'm going into this with an open mind. Yeah, Saints 2 is one of my favorite games ever, but I enjoyed all of the series. What I'm trying to say is that I'm giving SRR a fair chance. And even that won't save it. It all starts off with a flash forward. It feels like they chose this approach to make sure that we knew these hipsters would become the Saints. None of it felt convincing to me, no matter how much purple they wear. Also, could Volition never attempt to create a cat again? Seriously, what the fuck is this? Then it prompts us to create our character. It's like a downgraded Saints Row 3 creator, which is like a downgraded Saints Row 2 creator. Alright, I'm being harsh. The faces are alright, the model is decent, and the textures look good. Yeah, I know that many 13-year-old boys will be upset at the reduced maximum breast size, but I'm not losing sleep over it. They also removed the jiggle physics because they were worried people would be offended if they found out that breasts are affected by gravity and motion. Okay, but for real. It has some nice additions like glossiness and RGB range of colors, finally. But there's plenty of bad to it. The eyes look horrible, there's only a few long hairstyles and they're not that great. The tattoo selection is lacking and we can't even adjust opacity. The clothing just doesn't look that good, and the fact that I can't separately edit accessories on my left and right arms or wear rings at the same time is ridiculous.
You, sir, are ridiculous.
I'm disappointed with the editor. I wouldn't say it's awful, but it's below the quality we've grown to expect from the series. How could they claim this was some groundbreaking level of customization? That's a damn insult. I liked my characters in other games much more. In fact, I'm so uninvested that I went with a default face, and I'm normally the type that spends hours tweaking. Oh yeah, and voices. Well, long gone are fan favorite VAs like Laura Bailey and Troy Baker. We have a whole new cast, and for some reason my character sounds like Tails from Sonic.
They just stretch my muscles out.
Okay, I'm only joking. Erica Lindbeck performs great and her style reminds me of Laura Bailey in the last few games. Thanks to Erica, it feels just a little closer to the boss from those games instead of, well, this one.
Get the fuck away from my friends.
The boss themselves is like a watered-down Saints Row 3 boss. She's not nearly as badass, but being a murder machine is her only personality trait.
I don't think you'll live long enough for your copay to matter.
So I should be reviewing the life insurance policy.
I found her okay, I guess, but only when using Fem Voice too. Unfortunately, this game is so buggy, it likes to swap it back to the default, so some cutscenes will be with the wrong one. Sorry. After we're done editing our character, the flash forward continues with an Instagram live stream.
Fuck the Panteros, fuck the Idols, fuck Marshall. The Saints are here to stay, baby!
This felt so cringe to me. The cutscenes don't look great either and have some rough animations. Our flash forward ends with us being buried alive. Hasn't that already been done before and in a much better way? I don't know this character, so I feel absolutely nothing. Like, damn, the Fallout New Vegas intro made me feel so much more despite giving me minimal detail. God, I wish I was playing that right now. So we roll back a few months to see we're taking a new job with Marshall. And now we start our tutorial. It's a pretty generic mission of wiping some dudes out. But let's get down to business. It's time to feel how this game plays, and it's alright. The movement took a little getting used to. They've added some parkour elements into it. We can actually jump now as well as dodge roll. Parachuting has been replaced with a wingsuit, which is fun. The animations look awful when I run in circles though. I mean, just look at this. What the fuck? And check out how walking as a female player uses a male animation. Good job. Jumping through car windows feels less smooth than it did in SR3, but we can ride on top of vehicles now. If anything is an upgrade from previous games, it's the weapons. They look sick, the variety is solid, and the customization is pretty awesome. Lots of color options and patterns to really decorate them. Each weapon has its own signature ability too. Shooting feels pretty tight and I like the weight and recoil to them, but I have a couple complaints. My shotguns keep firing after I stop. The hipfire vertical sensitivity is too low, but the fine aim vertical sensitivity is too high. There's no way to adjust it on mouse and keyboard. Why are these even different to begin with? Controller players will find more options and copious amounts of aim assist to the point you think you injected some sketchy third-party software. It's all optional though, and there are many accessibility settings. At least it's supposed to be optional, but for some reason, even with aim assist completely disabled, it would kind of activate. Very annoying. But with the options that do work, we can customize a lot, such as lowering the bullet sponginess of enemies to make the game less tedious. And trust me, it needs all the help it can get. I do like that we can mold the game to play how we want though. Then we have a bunch of skills and perks to unlock. It's supposed to help spice up the combat, but I found the whole system really uninteresting. All in all, the movement and combat are okay, but could benefit from having the kinks worked out. So we wrap up our tutorial by catching some random dude in a...
I got him!
Oh yeah, that's a cool transition to the clothing editor.
I can look you in the eyes and say you didn't do what you were told.
After being scolded by our boss Gwen, we're dumped into the open world. That was quick. Let's grab a vehicle and check it out. Oh no. What have they done? Seriously, if there's one thing I was sure would be good, it would have been the vehicle physics, but it's so sluggish and stiff. How do you go from the super smooth controls we had to this? It's similar to Saints Row 2 driving, but somehow worse. I constantly felt like I was fighting the controls. I really can't believe they messed up the driving this bad. And neither can the boss. This clip was recorded the first time I sat behind the wheel.
Every last motherfucking microscope.
Itsy bitsy teeny weeny son of a bitch bastard ass tiny little shit sucking bit of it!
We get it, Volition. There's curse words in your game. Now, there are some nice additions like vehicle abilities, sideswiping, barrel rolls, and the drifting is decent. The off-roading has been improved and I like the new GPS. Check out the bike animations. Sweet. The vehicles look great too, but let's get into the fun part. Customization. There's actually a number of improvements. For instance, we can customize glossiness, rust, and even vehicle audio. The other cosmetic options are about the same. It's a solid editor. And I have to point out, when you pop tires, this happens. Holy fuck, that's lazy. After we drive to our destination, we're introduced to 3 more characters. There's Kevin, the shirtless cook who is a part of the Idols. He has a tattoo of a waffle. Yeah, real badass, huh?
Are you gonna help me get the waffle maker or not?
Nina, the car girl who is in the Los Pinteros. You see what I did there?
Good for 10?
And Urkel, Eli, the guy who wears a bow tie.
I will throw in $20 for a waffle maker.
He makes Pierce look interesting.
Done.
There are stereotypical college hipsters who talk about vegan dishes and speak in internet acronyms.
The only way this could be better is if you put on a fucking shirt.
Dinner and a show, baby.
Oh, please.
This is who they thought they should give us instead of the 3rd Street Saints. It's pretty cringe, especially when you remember that this is Saints Row, not Life is Strange. We don't have gang members. We have a bunch of pussies that are our fellow college roommates.
You call yourself gangbangers? You're a bunch of pussies.
I do like our apartment though. It's cozy and they brought back the Saints Row 2 style of crib where you have to interact with objects. Still no mission replay though. Why am I not surprised? Later we have one more crib, the church. It's nice, but you heard me right. 2 cribs. There's 2 of them. What a joke. We also don't see the return of the highly desired crib customization. Instead, we can place down collectibles. Whoop-de-fucking-do. And get this, after you unlock the church, the apartment ceases to exist. The fast travel waypoint is gone. You can still find it on the map, but it no longer has any function. What the fuck? So while the game has a total of 2 cribs, you only get to have 1 at any given time. Not having cribs around the city also means that you don't get to use your vehicle after fast traveling. So because we're struggling to pay this apartment's rent, our student loans debt, and acquire a new waffle maker, not joking,
What sort of waffle maker can I get for $35?
we decide to go rob a Western Union. I mean the payday loan place. Yeah, real creative.
You done fucked up.
I've been getting that a lot lately. Where's a safe?
It's disappointing that the entire robbery is a cutscene. This would have been the perfect chance for a small heist to kickstart the game. Instead, we're put into a vehicle chase sequence and, oh, finally, we hear some actual music. Yeah, get used to often playing in silence because a lot of the missions don't even have music. And when it is there, well, it's forgettable. And that's a shame because I love the menu and mission tracks from Saints Row 3. We do have a bunch of new radio stations though. I spent time listening to each one and not much stuck out to me other than maybe the Outrun station. I'm always down for some retrowave, but other than that, the OST was uninspired. Also, the music stops playing when you get out of the car, which is super annoying. Okay, the prologue is finally over, so we're free to explore the world of Santo Ileso. Visually, I would say the game looks decent. There's a good amount of detail, but the lighting is a little drab at times. Overall, it looks average, but shit like the shadow pop-in or these horrible fake rooms look seriously outdated. Saints Row 3 Remastered looked a lot better. As for the UI, the visual presentation is super plain. I like the new phone though. Very clean and easy to use. But the game's performance is garbage. I was dropping under 60 FPS on a 2080, especially in the desert, and there's quite a number of glitches in the game. The menus don't like the save settings, and I had missions get stuck numerous times. The game is just lacking the coat of polish it needs. At least the map design is pretty good. With how bland Steelport was, it's nice to see a better detailed world. It's a blend of desert, town, and city. There's a good number of districts, and I enjoy seeing unique landmarks everywhere. But where are the interiors? It feels like a kick in the face to walk up to a convenience store that has a big open sign and not be able to enter. I can't even go inside the mechanic shop. On the plus side, the very few interiors we have are well detailed. I'm glad to see branded, impressions, leather and lace return, but no sign of Nobody Loves Me. That was my favorite. Was it too edgy for this game? You know, considering they censored freckle bitches to FBs and rim jobs to gym robs. It's just insane to me that a series known for being offensive and crazy would censor so much of their game, and it feels like identity erasure of the series. Image by design has also gone in favor of customizing on your phone. Boring. Nonetheless, I do like how destructive the world is. Chaotic and awesome. And just look at what you can do with fire hydrants. Cool. Santo Ileso may not come close to Stillwater, but it's a big improvement over Steelport. As for the NPCs living in this world, they react in a more predictable manner than the last couple games, and you'll find small changes to the world such as road and police barricades. But they quickly grew repetitive. The feeling of life that Saints 2 had is nowhere to be found. Apart from pedestrians, the notoriety system is back. It sucks. Notoriety doesn't decay anymore, so if you make one tiny mistake like bumping a cop car, then it's a huge pain to lose. You have two options. You kill people before they call in backup, and this is super annoying because of how short a window you have, or escape. And there's no stealth way of losing the cops since the AI know where you are at all times. On top of that, they teleport around the map to follow you. Getting into cop fights is supposed to be fun, but instead it's a chore. However, what's important about the world is what all can we do in it. One of the many reasons I love Saints Row 2 is the variety of open world diversions. Well, we have a bunch of collectibles like dumpster diving, hitman and gang takeovers are back. As for actual replayable diversions, you can blow up armored trucks, and there's crime opportunities where you defeat enemies and take some cash. The description states that you can steal from a gang that just pulled off a score. This is so frustrating to me because we can't be the ones that pull off the score. We can't even rob simple stores anymore. Like, come on, there's a safe right there, and I can't even kill him? Oh my god. What's with these stupid rules in a Saints Row game? And to make matters worse, none of the classic diversions are back. The SR2 jobs, vehicle hostage, even streaking is gone. Without replayable open world content, you have little reason to boot up the game after completion. I would have loved to see the variety of diversions we had in SR2, or even robberies and mini heists. What's the point of creating an awesome map and then not filling it with content? Am I gonna beat the game and then just endlessly grind armored trucks? Fuck no, I'm not! I'm going to load up Saints Row 2 instead. So, are the activities any better? They've been replaced with bland side hustles. Survival is now triggered by leaving bad Yelp reviews, and we've got some new ones like Pony Express and Wingsuit Saboteur that are so fucking boring, I don't even want to talk about them. So, let's just move on to the businesses, aka criminal ventures. They unlock after we help Jim rob in the story. We purchase them and place them on plots of land. Each one unlocks something new for us, like more things to do in the world. Thank goodness. Jim Robs gives us the classic chop shop. Insurance fraud makes a return, and for the first time in the series, it's terrible. And there's many more, each one being more boring than the last. So if you didn't like the respect bar from Saints Row 2, you have to purchase and fully complete these businesses in order to progress the story. Yeah, have fun. That sums up most of the game's open world content, so now it's on to the main event, the story and its missions. The missions themselves are okay if you like never-ending spawns of bullet sponges. They never feel creative or action-packed like the ones from the older games, and the enemy swarms get really tiring to fight. The game started to bore me so much after a few hours of these missions. They're just dull and lacking a solid presentation or really any form of excitement. It doesn't help that the story surrounding them is uneventful. And do they really have to go the GTA route of forcing long drives every single time you start a mission? What's the point of having all these fast travel points if they can't be used? Let me walk you through how missions go for me. I start the mission, see where I'm going, abort the mission, fast travel near it, and start the mission again. Every single time. There's also not enough checkpoints, so restarting or dying requires a lot of replaying. This is made worse when your game keeps bugging your missions out. Getting through this story is a drag. And unfortunately, we have to talk about that. After the prologue, we continue working with Marshall until we're fired. Marshall is actually considered one of the 3 gangs, and I didn't realize this until halfway through the game. As for Kevin and Nina, they're given the choice of their friends or their crew. Kevin parts ways with the Idols, who are decked out in a bunch of neon colors and funky helmets. And Nina leaves Los Panteros, who are an extremely generic street gang that really like cars, I guess. Now that everyone's out of a job, the decision to start our own criminal empire is made.
It's our time now. Let's get this shit started.
That was by far the worst delivery of that line yet. We work on getting a new base, the church, and we begin recruiting members, and holy fuck! I'm sorry, but I am so bored of this game. Why does this still feel like the prologue? I keep waiting for something to happen and nothing does. And in a single mission of murdering people, we go from being nobodies to having a bunch of recruits.
Your training video on the weak points of different models really helped.
Well, preparation is key.
Seriously, training videos? As we move on, it becomes more and more obvious that we aren't the Saints.
Are you gonna buy anything?
1 chocolate milk and a packet of beef jerky.
We don't even resemble gangsters. This whole game is like if Weird Al parodied Saints Row. Exactly how I feel playing this game. Spoiler warning, as I'm going to quickly cover the story. The Idols kidnap Kevin, so we take them down. Yeah, that's the last we see of them. We get that dude from the tutorial's help to rob a train, and Los Panteros leader Sergio suddenly dies.
Money fight!
After the train robbery, the group gets told that Marshall owned them, so we help Myra Starr take the position from Atticus, Marshall's leader. And that's it for the 3 gangs. Finally, near the end, we catch up to the intro cutscene. The dude from earlier shows up and shows us how weak this pathetic excuse of a boss actually is. He tries to kill us and then kidnaps our roommates, gang members. We show up to save them, he gets away, we find him and showdown with him, he dies. That's it. That's the whole story. No real plot, no character growth, no story building. That's the fucking game. In conclusion, would I say it's a horrible game? If you disregard the bugs and lack of polish, then it's not completely terrible. There was some good here, but the problem is it's mind-numbingly boring and lacks any form of good creativity. I was barely able to force myself to keep playing this game. I'm so disappointed. This somehow managed to fall even lower than my initial expectations, and those were bad. I just cannot wrap my head around Volition's decision-making process. They could have created something amazing that pleased new and old fans alike. Instead, we got this piece of shit, and boy is it flopping. I almost feel bad for Volition, but I don't. They have no one to blame but themselves. It's funny how the dude in their logo doesn't have ears, because they do not listen! This might be the end, guys. I don't want the Saints to die, but their future is up in the air. Volition really fucked up. And that's all there is left to say. Alright, that's it for me, guys. Despite the disappointment, I hope you enjoyed the video. Also be sure to check out the review I did of Saints Row 2, which is much more positive. With that said, thank you so much for watching. Love y'all. Peace out.